welcome. I have a story today called Just a Few Things from Walmart. We have a very timid customer, Mr. Tedeschi, encountering an unruly guy with a mullet. So here we go. Just a few things from Walmart. Just a few things from Walmart. Just a few things from Walmart. Mr. Tedeschi taught sixth grade science, an able man in his 30s, shy, divorced. He turned left and drove into the vast parking lot. No trouble whatsoever. Just a few things from Walmart. Cat litter, salad in a bag, coffee, frozen fish fillets, and grapefruit juice. He pulled his spotless black Nissan Versa into a space, but not near the buggy corral. He remembered what his mother would say. Well, God has given us this parking space. He had a satchel in the back seat and pushed it behind the driver's seat. He felt for his wallet in the front pocket of his new jeans. Was he getting a cold sore? He glanced in the rearview mirror but couldn't tell. It was dusk and dimming. He could feel the darkness waiting to descend and hurried toward the home goods entrance. Mr. Tedeschi hoped the greeter would not be there, but he was. He waited for a large woman with pink on the bottom of her sweatpants to take a buggy, and he grabbed one, testing the wheels. Buggies that pulled left or right were not good. The buggy pulled left, but someone was behind him, a couple. The man in a black leather jacket, even though it was in the 80s. Mr. Tedeschi prepared himself to meet the greeter. Would he speak? What would be his response? The greeter was a young guy in a wheelchair with blue hair. Mr. Tedeschi looked straight ahead, and the greeter just spun around and stared at him. A glance registered between the two. He felt that a crossroads had been passed and bore left for the cat litter, passing the pharmacy and aisles of toothpaste and vitamins. He turned his buggy but almost hit another. He pulled back as if shot, his mouth dry, his look surprised. The woman mumbled that she was sorry. She was short, wearing a sleeveless t-shirt with a baseball bat on it. Mr. Tedeschi swallowed and backed up, perhaps too far. The cat litter in heavy 40-pound boxes was just there, within reach, and he hefted a container into his buggy. Next, he looked forward to the long walk from pets to groceries. But, scanning ahead, he saw that he would pass at least 3 people. He had forgotten his shades and practiced relaxing his eyes, a look of unconcern. Just shopping, just like you. The first person he passed was a man who was gripping his buggy like an eagle on TV. Mr. Tedeschi felt him pass as he looked at the cat litter in his buggy. That was okay, right? To just be looking at one's stuff, minding one's own business. That's what his mother would have said. Just be mindful of your space. Let the others slide by. No need to get in too deep. He fought the buggy, wanting to go left, and glanced inside the small coolers at the heads of checkout lines. He was able to avoid eye contact with 2 teenage girls in flip-flops, each holding what? He missed it, but it was best to stay focused on what he came to get. Next was the salad in a bag. It came packaged with cranberries, pumpkin seeds, and a packet of sweet dressing. He liked sweet dressing. There was a woman there wearing a halter top, and he veered right to pretend to look at the potatoes. He glanced at his shoes to make sure the laces were tied. With his salad, he turned into the first aisle with coffee up ahead on the right. His mother had never liked coffee, and he felt guilty as he placed the bag into the buggy. A man in a motorized scooter turned the corner, and Mr. Tedeschi pulled back, a lump in his throat. One never knew the suffering of others. He made a silent promise in his heart to remember the man in prayer and turned the corner into the wide aisle that ran beside groceries. As he passed each aisle, he glanced down each one, glad that he would not have to pass the shoppers there. Just a few things from Walmart. He wondered about his glasses. They were almost 7 years old, the paint rubbing off the frame. He squinted his eyes at a sign for tomato paste. He passed the beer aisle, slowing just a bit, wondering what alcohol tasted like. He paused ever so much and saw a large man wearing a t-shirt with the sleeves cut off. There was a boy with him. The boy's haircut looked homemade, and the man was talking in a loud voice, as if he wished to engage those around him. Mr. Tedeschi hurried along, a slight sweat emerging on his brow. In frozen foods, he avoided looking at the ice cream. He had once bought a pint of Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie and had eaten the entire thing while watching a crime show. He recalled the strength in his mother's grip as she lay dying in the nursing home, panting for breath, squeezing his hand. Frozen fish fillets. He opened the freezer door and retrieved the bag of 10 fillets. The price was $1 cheaper than Publix. He recalled that he had plenty of ketchup and realized that he was almost home free. Grapefruit juice. His father had never returned from Vietnam, having taken a wife there and fathering cream-colored children. At the back of the store with the yogurt and juices, Mr. Tedeschi paused to let a freckled woman pass. He could see the outline of her breast beneath her gingham top and swallowed, staring into an open freezer at bags of frozen chicken nuggets. His mother would knock the oxygen tube from her nose and he would replace it. A minute later, he had to do it again. With his grapefruit juice secure in his buggy, he walked with purpose, gazing at the items he had selected. He made it to the full width of the store without encountering anyone and felt as if he were on a kind of vacation. A great peace enveloped him. Now, which cashier to select? And a thrill ran from his tailbone to his nose. He didn't like the self-checkout. Too many surprises. He pushed his buggy and glanced into each of the open registers. Too many people in that one. He paused and examined number 8. The light was on, indicating that it was open. There were no items on the conveyor belt, but there was the man in his cut-off t-shirt and the boy with bad bangs. Despite the warning bells, Mr. Tedeschi pushed his buggy into the lane, being enfolded in racks of magazines and chewing gum. There was no turning back. The man was talking, a bad sign. The boy seemed to be engaged in a private game involving his hands. Mr. Tedeschi kept his head down and moved the items from his buggy onto the black belt one by one. The cashier seemed to be engaged with the man, and was that a manager there as well? His heart sank. "Look, I tell you, that card worked just fine just a few minutes ago. I bought $1 worth of gas." The man gesticulated wildly, his eyes sweeping the store. The cashier and the manager glanced at one another. "Look, I'm good for it. Just need a little help, that's all. Just ring me up and I'll be back in a jiffy. My ex owes me some money, I promise. I mean, I look good for it, right?" The 12-pack of Budweiser sat on the metal counter. The boy was asking him something. "Oh, hell, this kid is a mess. Maybe you can call child services. Hell, I bought him a baseball glove here last week. Don't that count for nothing?" Mr. Tedeschi felt weak in the knees, but what could he do? He had made a terrible mistake. And then he made another, glancing at the man and making eye contact. The bottom dropped out. "Hey, fella, you got PayPal? I just need some cash here. I'm good for it. If you have PayPal, we can work something out." He was moving toward Mr. Tedeschi. The boy was at his game, flying an imaginary airplane. Mr. Tedeschi examined the coffee and wondered if maybe he should offer it to this man. he would pay for it and give it to him. He gripped the buggy's metal lattice. "What, cat got your tongue?" said the man. His name was Cecil Whitmire. He was on parole for running his girlfriend down with his beat-up car. He had pinned her to a garage and sat on the horn while he cursed God. "Sir," said the manager, "we can work this out if you just come back with some cash or maybe another card." "Well, damn, this fellow looks like he's loaded. Come on, man, a little help?" Mr. Tedeschi wondered if his feet were touching the ground. He let loose one hand and raised it as if answering a troubled demon. I... So do you or do you not have PayPal? That'll solve everybody's problem and I can be on my way, except I need some more gas. I live in the damn country. What do you say, fella?" He moved to within 4 feet of Mr. Tedeschi, sweating in the cool air, his arms laced with homemade tattoos. "Sir," said the manager. The cashier was biting her fingernails. Mr. Tedeschi cringed, clawing at his memory for a response. He remembered his mother taking back a case of pork and beans because one tasted bad. "Well, just fuck it then," said Cecil. He threw up his hands. "Come on, boy." The two swaggered away, looking back. Cecil talking to everybody he passed, asking them if they had PayPal. Mr. Tedeschi managed to move forward, his face sallow, the blood squirming in his veins. He made a slight smile and rejoiced as his items made their way over the scanner, one at a time. "Sorry about that," said the cashier. She had a tooth outlined in gold. "Oh," said Mr. Tedeschi. "That's $20.15. Mr. Tedeschi tried to remember what was next. He panicked, worried that he had forgotten his wallet. He felt his back pockets. Nothing. He felt his front pocket, and it was there. He let out a small whimper. With hands shaking, he inserted his card, staring at the little machine. Getting outside seemed like floating on a cushion of bad air. He took in the whole parking lot as if it would swallow him. Still shaking, he focused on the spot where his car was parked and walked there with great purpose. Next to his car was a ragged Ford Pinto without a license plate. The boy was in the driver's seat. The window was rolling down. "Hey, fella, remember me? You got PayPal, don't you? I can see it in your eyes." Mr. Tedeschi's mother had finally passed, smothered, gasping for air, her firm grip going smooth and relaxed. Just a few things from Walmart. Just a few things from Walmart. The end. Lots of interesting things and interesting people at Walmart. Definitely.